Let me know down in the chat. I do want to know. I do want to know how you guys are feeling, how the energies are treating you. What is the vibe? Let me know down below in the chat, okay? Alrighty. I think I'm gonna start by first addressing some concerns in the collective, right? Especially with the energy of 2026, right? So let me first address this, okay? Um, yes, right? They are gonna try to throw the book at us this year, okay? These deletes, right? They're gonna try every little thing they got up their sleeve, okay? However, remember, we are co creators of this realm, of this reality, meaning anything we say no to doesn't happen, right? Anything we allow into our brains, into our minds to fester, right? Well, it's got the energy and the attention that's needed, okay? Whereas if you don't pay attention to it, right? If you don't give it power, okay, it cannot transpire on this planet, okay? So I need y'all to remember, if it doesn't align with humanity's highest good and our world peace timeline, then it's not happening. All right? Anything that isn't for humanity's highest good or our world peace timeline, it's not happening on this planet at all. Speak it with conviction, speak it with authority, right? Because you have power over your reality. Okay? I need y'all to remember that always, okay? So all this extra stuff that you see going on in the collective, right? People talking about Project Bluebeam and stuff like that and how they want to do this or blackouts this, yada yada. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? Why? Because we can shift the timeline. We, with our minds, with our energy, with our attention, our power, can co create the way this unfolds. However, we can also stop anything these deletes are trying to pull over our eyes. Okay? We have that power. That power. Okay? Never forget that. All right? Even when it comes like to these Epstein files, remember, we have the power to get them to release the next 3 million files. They're not going to pull that over our head. We have the co-create a reality where those next 3 million come out before March. We have that power. However, it takes all of us, right? This is why the pin post, right, on I can't pin post on YouTube yet, but when I can, I will pin this post and I say 8.5 billion of us can cultivate a planet that all of us thrive on. Okay? Right? And I'm serious, right? I'm like this because I'm passionate and I'm allowed to be loud about it. And if that don't vibe with you, then you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm not for you. As simple as that. I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, especially how I handle these. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm gonna be blunt about it. I'm gonna be honest about it. And yes, we have the power to co-create our reality. Okay, I need y'all to really understand that. Okay, not just in our own realities, but also as a collective. Okay. Hi, Queen. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. Okay. All right. So, how the energy's treating you? Let me know. But yeah, guys. Like, I just need you guys to remember that, especially this year, that where your attention goes, your energy flows. Okay? They want your attention on them and all these crazy things they're about to get ready to do. Don't pay attention to them, right? And when I say don't pay attention, I mean do not feed into that energy. Do not give them your energy to use against you. That's what I'm saying, right? You can still read the Epstein files. Make sure to call your power back and make sure you ground before and after because it is a portal that they are trying to bring things through, right? But like I said, you can still see the things they're trying to do in this realm. You can still, observe this realm without feeding into it, right? So that's why I need you guys to remember, this year especially, okay? Because they're scared. They are terrified. Okay. You know what I'm saying? How long have they known this great awakening, this mass awakening was gonna occur on this realm? And they took as many measures as they could beforehand, but they still played around with it like it was a joke until the actual moment. You know what I'm saying? And we could say that was God, universe right there, making them underestimate their enemies there. See what I'm saying? They thought they had it in the bag. You see what I'm saying? And then boom, turn right around and they don't. They don't. How you doing, Kai? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. You said you have a yes or no question. We aren't doing any yes or no questions today. We're just vibing today, talking about our soul tribe and things we have to do, okay, as a soul tribe. So if you do have any, like, if you need a reading, you can always DM me for it, okay? 3 card or 5 card, right? I do send like a video, a audio message, like a picture so you can see the cards and everything. For those ones, if you schedule a 30-minute session with me, right, then we get on Google Meet and you see the whole live interaction with everything with the cards. Just not the 3 card, 5 cards if you DM me, because that is like, it just takes up extra time if we try to schedule a meet and everything like that, when I could just get it to you as fast as possible. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah. You're welcome, hon. Thursdays though, like, remember, Thursdays are personal readings, yes or no questions always, okay? When we're on live, Thursdays are your perfect day for that, because that's what we do on Thursdays, okay? Every other day we do have something planned. I do have the tarot cards out for those who are investing into our collective here, right? So that's why I do have the cards out. You do get weekly readings, 5 card readings every week. If you are investing in the subscriptions or in the super fans, right? Any of that, like you investing your currents of chi into, okay? Hi, Riddler. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat, hun. I'm gonna start with thought, guys. Like, my neurodivergency tries to finish the thought, or I'll completely lose the thought. So don't think I'm ignoring you guys. It's sometimes literally I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget my thought. Hi, Sister B. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. You too, Riddler. Want to know how you doing? How you feeling? Okay. Yes, we chilling here. Just about to head to work. Period. Okay, I hope you have a blessed day at work. You know, they're not doing too much on you today. They chill on you. Okay. All right. You're doing good, Sister B. Period. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. All right. How am I doing, Kai? I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing? Let me know down in the chat, okay? I do want to know, guys, so let me know. Okay. Yes, much love to you too, hun. All right. So, hi. I don't know if I'm gonna say that right. Sanjay. I don't even. I don't know if I'm saying that right, hun. Let me know if I'm saying that right. But how you doing? Even if I butchered it, I'm sorry. But let me know how you're doing. And we do our readings for energy exchanges, right? I tell you guys all the time that days in advance on preparation, right? It takes a lot of energy work, a lot of mental work, a lot of mindfulness work for me to get ready to do your readings. Okay, so what's equal is the energy exchange. You're investing your currents of chi, your energy, back into me, as I am investing my energy into you. Okay. All right. You're happy because you have no school, period. It's a Monday. Wait. I was like, wait, it's a Monday. Is there a holiday today? Y'all, it's February, isn't it? Is it a snow day? Is there snow where you're at? I'm like, what's today? It's the 23rd of February. I'm trying to figure out what the holiday is. What? What? Nah, St. Patrick's Day isn't until next month. It's a snow day. Okay. Because I was like, you got me over here going like, there's no major holiday this week. What? They're not. homeless kids out for what reason? Okay, no, that makes sense. It's snow day. It's a snow day. That makes sense. I just want the snow to go away. I'm out here singing snow, snow, go away. Come back next winter, please. Like, oh, the roads are bad because of that whole tariff war with Canada. And so yeah, United States hasn't been able to get their salt because of that whole tariff war. So, it was a fun winter. If anything, they really should have tried the blackout last winter. That would like that whole January beginning of January scene, like that's when they should have tried the whole blackout. I'm not gonna let you. But like we were very in the collective, we were very aware that they're gonna try some BS during the winter. And you know what I said? Like I said, we have the power to co-create this reality that we're seeing. And what, blackout didn't happen. Storm wasn't even as bad as they were trying to predict it. You know what I'm saying? Because we influence the outcome with our energy. Okay? Right? Visualization. Okay? Meditation. Right? Using those powers that are innate to us. Okay? To cultivate a better timeline. Okay? Because we don't have to allow any of that to slide, okay? And you said happy because your BF just messaged you and he got ice cream. That was awesome. I know you're excited about that ice cream. You're like, yeah, I'm about to see that ice cream got your name on it later, huh? When you get home, you're gonna be like, yo. Hi, Leia. How you doing? How you feeling? I'm not doing yes or no questions. I'm just anybody who wants to join our honorary soul tribe family by investing their currents of chi. The I don't know why TikTok doesn't show the subscription stuff anymore. I don't get it. I don't know if they couldn't have replaced it because it's still on there, but it's like I can't like show you guys the perks or anything um on live anymore. So it's kind of crazy to me. And like here we go. I think I can, oh wait, I can fix this. Wait, hold on. Can I edit this though? Would it let me edit this? I'm trying to see if I can edit these prices for you guys on the super fans, because right now it's at $10, but the subscriptions starts at $2. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want it to be $10. You know, like I don't want you guys to feel like it could the $10 one that we do have for the warrior tribe, right? Those are the people who are like truly devoted to our mission of world peace here on this planet, right? Like, and they want to invest their money and help me cultivate world peace here, right? That's why, if you spend $10 a month, that's what it would be for. But I'm confused. What do I, if I just put one? Oh, what if I put zero? Oh, I have to put one. Okay, can I change the price? Okay, wait, guys. I'm gonna have to figure this out later, but I think it like always want people to start at $10. It is crazy to me. Like, no, I'm not saying people don't do it. It's just crazy because I rather you guys have the option to have the $2 one, you know what I'm saying? Because it's, and then I think first time subscribers get it for $2.69, and then after that is like $2.99. But like first time investors always get like a deal off, but it's, I don't know, that super fan thing is weird. I'll have to look into it. Right, that, to see if I can change that for you guys. So you're able, like, if you truly want to help and invest into our mission for world peace here, then you can do that. Okay. But right now, I don't really know what's going on with it. Because TikTok has changed a lot since we have been using it for our live streams the last year. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with it, guys, but uh, something, right? So you do, like, I don't know, if I still had the be able to like show you guys the subscription ones, I would be putting them on there. Hi Annie, how you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. Like it just doesn't, it doesn't show me, guys. I don't know. I don't know. But let me know how y'all doing, how y'all feeling down in the chat. I do want to know. Okay. So yeah, we'll do a quick meditation here. I'll pray into the cards, and anybody wanting to I wouldn't even like become an honorary soul tribe fam, like it calls it whatever it calls it on the app. But right. Weekly readings, okay. You if you get this one, okay, I will also give you a 30-minute one-on-one session with me for free during the month. So if you do the $10 ones, which is something in the warrior tribe you do get, right, with the subscription plans. I just don't know why that isn't working on there. I think they might have replaced it with Superfan. Which is okay, but it doesn't even let me like curate the prices for you guys, so it's kind of like but I still do will honor, right, the warrior tribe package with $10, right? So that gets you 5 card readings, okay, as well every week, as well as a 30-minute one-on-one session with me, okay? So $10 gets you a lot versus, you know what I'm saying, what, $50. If you want 5 card reading, that's $10, right? So 30-minute one-on-one session went from being $50 to $10, and those 5 card readings that are 10 a piece, right, are now included also in that $10 price, right? So it's a steal if you ask me, because you're getting it a lot cheaper for investing that way versus, going through the other process, which is paying the other full prices individually, okay? And like I said, those are our energy exchanges, right? So it's not just like, I'm just asking you to pay, because people don't really understand how much work goes into being intuitive guide, right? I'm not just popping up here today, and you know what I'm saying, and we don't do it. No, I am spending days and days in advance doing the work on myself, doing the preparation for myself, so that I could be able to give you guys 100% accuracy in your readings, okay? You too, William. You have a blessed week, hon. It's good to see you. Hey, I know we be coming on here a little early for some of y'all, but hi, stop and smile. Yes, all is well. I hope all is well for you too, hon. Send the love back, okay? So yeah, I think that is something you guys like, if you're truly invested and you just love vibing with me, and you truly like want to support me in some way, right? The the super fan subscription, whatever it's called, right? I at this point, since it's $10, I call it the Warrior Tribe subscription package. Okay, the Warrior Tribe subscription package, right, gets you 5 card readings every week, and it gets you a 30-minute one-on-one session, all for $10, which is not what the original price on those are. Okay, for the energy exchanges, right? So you are spending a lot less and getting a lot more, okay? So I definitely would think about that if you are truly interested, okay? You hope that you get some good news soon. I do too, hon. Yes, you gotta believe it. You gotta feel it. You gotta, okay, this, you gotta get your subconscious mind into it, right? Because a lot of the time we think we just have to think it to believe it, but your subconscious mind is based on feelings, your emotional realm. So if your emotions don't align with your thoughts, right, then manifestation is gonna be a little bit more trickier. Okay, so you gotta also feel like you're already in that moment, okay, that you're already getting good news, you're like, you've already received, feel what it would feel like to already receive that good news, right, and sit in that for a while. Okay, meditate in that feeling. Okay, okay, hun. That's how you pick it up in the manifestation department. Read um Dr. Dispenza's subconscious book. I'm trying to remember the full name of it. But read that book by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, will definitely help you understand. Okay, you feel good today. Period. Period. Oh yeah, that was mainly for William, hun. I was mainly telling William. Okay, just letting William know, like, yeah, it's gonna happen. Let me see if I can quickly find the title of this book. Don't play that. Sorry. Okay, hold on, guys, because I can actually do like this. Nope, different book. That's also a good book to read, though. Hold on, I'm looking for Dr. Joe Dispenza's book. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is also a good book to read as well, paired with Dr. Joe Dispenza's book. As I look through all these books here, because remember, we do have our conscious library on YouTube. The Boss Up playlist is the conscious library with over 200 books in it. Where is this book I'm looking for? There's so much stuff in here. And before we get back into deciphering the Bible too, you guys should definitely watch that etymology video I put in there for you guys. It goes over connotations, denotations, and then breaks down how to use etymology in the Bible, okay? I don't know if I'll be able to see the full playlist because on my computer it like shortens the playlist for some reason. Alright, hold on, I might have to do it like this. Dr. Joe Dispenza. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let me know down below. Okay. Subconscious mind. Okay. All right. Breaking the habit of being yourself. That's the one I was thinking of. Okay. So yeah. So breaking the habit of being yourself and the powers of your subconscious mind. Both books that are in the Boss Up playlist. So if you write down those titles, you can find them in there. One is Dr. Joe Dispenza. The other one is Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay. Great books to read. Okay. On the subconscious mind, especially to recalibrate it for manifestation. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do like just a quick breathing exercise. Just to get us grounded. Okay. Try to do it at the beginning. If we get it done in the beginning, we get it done, but we do it now. So join me in a comfortable seat. When you're ready, and close our eyes. And we're going to inhale for 4, breathe out for 8, and hold at the top before your exhale. Okay. Inhale in for 4, hold, out for 8. Inhale 4, hold at the top, out for 8. We're going to do a few more of those. Hold, exhale. If you still have a lot of breath at the end of 8, just go ahead and make sure you expel all of it. Doing these last 2 on your own. Inhale for 4, hold at the top, exhale for 8. And then when you're ready, after that last one, we're going to imagine a pillar of light, a bridge connecting us to the earth and the sun from our soles of our feet and the crowns of our head. Allowing the energy to flow up and down your chakras. If your mind wanders during this visualization, return back to your breath. Gently, normal breathing rhythm here. And when you're ready, you're going to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then we're going to shake it out. Shake it out, 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 shake it out. All right, we're here. We're present. Amen. Ashe. Okay, so quick breathing exercises like I tried to explain to you guys. It can be that quick. It could be that easy, that simple. You don't have to sit in hours and hours and hours of meditation and breathing exercises if you just take a moment, 2 minutes out of your day. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's 60 seconds out of your day to ground, to recenter yourself, to balance. Okay, it is going to change your life drastically. Okay, alrighty. I'm not sitting here trying to sell you or convince you. I'm telling you, go find out for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. Cause trust me, y'all. Okay, 2020. Alright, when I first reawakened to my abilities and everything, when they was talking about meditate, girl, meditate, I was sitting there like, who? Me? Right? I was like, do I have to do that though? Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Right, trust me, I've been there, y'all. I'm not speaking on no things I didn't go through myself. Okay, I was there once where I questioned if mindfulness was really a tool of great importance in my own journey. Okay, yes, I've been there. I've done it. Okay, and now I can say with absolute certainty It is entirely important for the growth on my journey. Okay. And that's why I bring it up as many chances as I do, as I do get to bring it up to you guys for you to do it, right? Because, like I said, it is it is going to be very important on your journey, especially if you have a survival nervous system. You need to. Okay, man. And you say you gotta go. Okay, hon. I hope you feel better. All right. Praying you have a blessed of your day. Okay. All right. So yeah. Um. What you call it? So yes, it's very important for us to get in the habit of grounding, meditating, especially this year. Okay. Like I said, it's going to be very important in 2026. Anything, and remember, we are the co creators of our reality. Okay, if you haven't looked into the 12 karmic laws, you really should. They govern energy, okay, and how it interacts with one another, how we interact with one another. Okay, so you need to look into that, um, so that you're able to have a deeper understanding of it. Okay. I don't want you guys just going on and about and not really understanding that. Right? It's very important that we say no to the things we don't want in our reality, and we say yes to the things we do want in our reality. Okay? And that we understand that we hold that power. Okay? And no one's allowed to take it from us. Right? Especially if you're not forfeiting it, then there's no reason for them to be trying to take it from you. Right? So, especially if you be on the internet. If you are on the internet and you see people posting things about this or people posting things about that, and you're like, that doesn't sound like it's supposed to be on on the on the world. Sorry, I'm thinking brain is but on the world's timeline for world peace, right? This is not how this is going to go, right? This is, if this is outside of that, it needs to be brought up to the universe that we want that energy destroyed. Because we cannot create or destroy energy, we can only transform it. However, the great divine can create and destroy energy, right? So if we tell the universe we don't hey, take this away from us and like completely obliterate it, we don't want it, we don't want that timeline to come about, obliterate it. The universe will do just that. All right, so that's not happening. Okay, they said they want what's for their highest good, for the entire planet's highest good, for humanity's highest good. That's what they want. They don't want any of the extra stuff, right? And same with AI, right? Not even just the things that they're doing with all this Epstein stuff, right? Same with AI. AI is at the point where it's getting out of control. Right, it's getting out of control. It's already out of control. It's out of control, guys. Let's be honest with each other. AI is out of control, and you don't let it get chaotic before realizing it's out of control, right? That's weird. So definitely reshape, because we can use technology. Let's say we can have a really fun planet with technology. However, we can't allow technology to overpower our own cognitive thinking skills, right? We can't allow it to be something we rely heavily on, right? That is not going to help humanity grow, okay? Because the next form of evolution in humanity's timeline is through the mind, right? It is consciousness. That's our next evolution, is consciousness, right? There, for us to change forms anymore like that, that won't happen, right? But consciousness, right? We don't use 100% of our brain capacity, or you would be able to tell me everything that has happened to your in your life. Okay, without a photographic memory, mind you, without a photographic memory, you would be able to tell me everything that has taken place in your entire life if you could use 100% of your brain capacity. Everything. Every single moment you lived on this planet, you would be able to tell me if you used 100% of your brain capacity. But we don't use 100% of our brain capacity, and they lied to make it seem like we did. When they said we only used about 10% at a time, right? That was the facts. But then they wanted to make it seem like, oh, we're always using. No, we're not. We're using different parts of our brains at different moments, but we're not always using 100% of our brain capacity, because that looks entirely different, right? That looks entirely different. Dolphins are using more of their brain capacity than we are using of ours. Simple, simple. Okay, don't let them sit there fool you like we are using the full capacity of our brains, but we still feel pain. But we still feel pain in these bodies. Right. But 100% of your brain capacity means that you would be able to realize that pain isn't real. Right? It's just you're engulfing you in this realm. Right? If you used 100% of your brain capacity, right, it'd be a whole different outcome. Okay, than what we are currently sitting in. Okay. Right. Um so yeah, don't and you think they make movies, you think they make movies like Lucy for no reason? They know exactly what would happen to humanity if we evolved through consciousness. We'd be unstoppable. We'd be the gods and goddesses that God intended us to be. Right? Simple as that. Okay. So yeah, just remember you are the co-creator of this realm, and you don't have to endure anything on this realm you don't want to. Remember that. You don't have to endure anything you don't want to. But you have to humble yourself, right? People think humility isn't a part. You have to be humble, okay? And realize that, you're not the center of the universe, but you are a part of it, okay? You have to accept reality before you can change reality, okay? That's how that works. All right, so today I'm just really trying to get these core heads into you, because hey, you might not fully get it now. You know what I'm saying? But if you have the information, when the moment comes for you to use that information, you're going to think back on what I said, and you're going to be some real powerful being, okay, on this planet, because of the information stored in your brain. The seeds are planted to make sure that one day, even if you don't know how to use that knowledge today, you will know how to use it in the future. Okay. Alrighty. I just want y'all to be very clear about that. All right. So if you do be on the internet and you be seeing things, and especially if they talking about Project Bluebeam, how long have I been telling y'all about Project Bluebeam? Since 2021. If you go on my YouTube and you go into the Matrix miniseries, I literally started this channel telling you guys about things that they wanted to do to this planet. I literally started my channel telling you things, describing truths that back in 2021, people looked at me like I was crazy. Now they sitting here in 2026 going, maybe we should have listened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So you can go back. You can see how long I've been telling you that they would try these disasterly deeds, right? To try to confuse humanity, try to get us all, you know what I'm saying, scared and shaking in our boots. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to work. We've been aware of it for way too long, and we have the power to stop it. To make sure it never comes to fruition, right? So things, if you've been seeing new AI technology, new technology coming out as well, right? That's also distraction, right? They're trying to push new, exciting technology that they've always had ready to go at whenever, to try to confuse the masses, right? They've had high tech technology for years, How do they operate? It messes with timelines. How does HARP operate? It messes with weather. Like they've had high technology for years, right? Project Looking Gas. Like, they've known about high tech things for years. For years. They just are going to start trying to bring it out now to distract the public. That's what they want to do. They want to throw so many things at us. New technology. Oh my god, maybe an alien invasion. Oh, like guys, please don't fall for the BS. Please. That's why I need y'all to be at. That's where I need y'all to be secure. That you know that anything that is not for the best of humanity is not coming to fruition, right? It's not happening on this timeline. If it's not for the world peace timeline, it's not happening. Okay? Right? If we can all be on that same accord, okay, then whatever the deletes try, Illuminati, Freemasons, whatever they trying out there with their little rituals and stuff, why they eat our children, right? It's not gonna work. And they're gonna get punished for eating our children, right? So all of that, you know what I'm saying? All of that is going to transpire as long as we stay focused on the energy, right? We stay focused on cultivating the energy we want to see here: love, justice, and peace, right? That's what justice is very important to the balance of the realm, to the balance of, that's why the 12 karmic laws exist, for balance, right? Just because they sat here and created their own little loopholes around karma doesn't mean anything, because karma always spins back. I need y'all to understand that karma always spins back, and sometimes karma is racking up such a long list for on God, I just pulled the justice card. On God, y'all, how long have I been shuffling that deck today? And on God, I pulled the the justice card. That's spirit. I don't care. That is spirit right there. The creator said, yeah, they go get their justice. All right. They go get their justice. All right, y'all. That's, oh, okay. That's confirmation. That's confirmation. Period. Period. Okay. But like I was saying, okay, literally, karma will literally be there with a notepad waiting. You think they're loopholing whole time? Karma's sitting there writing down every discrepancy, every injustice. Karma's sitting there like, I'm waiting. You think you loopholing me, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Because the divine children of this realm, the light workers, the star seeds, okay, the divine soldiers, the warriors, okay, the witches, right? They all go make sure that this long list I got to turn into the Lord is gonna get paid back. So right now, right, with the justice card, that's so crazy, guys. Spirit don't lie. All right. But yeah, with that long list, they got a long list right now. They have accumulated so much karma. Hi, Biola. Hi, J Tech. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let me know down in the chat. Okay, but yeah, they have accumulated so much karma, right? That they about to get hit with it. Okay, they're about to get hit with it. And people are like, oh well, when they're questioning karma, but karma likes to play the long con. It likes to play the long con with people. It don't. Karma is not about this lifetime, right? It's about a balance in the universe, not just this lifetime, man. Mind you, you're just energy. Mind you, you're just energy, meaning I can get you at any time with this karmic debt that you got racked up. Right? You got all this karmic debt racked up for generations, eons. Some of these beings, beginning of time, right? Some of these beings, the beginning of time, they have racked up this karmic debt to try to get out of it, right? And Spirit is saying, nah, I've been waiting patiently, playing the long con. Like Spirit is out here every time these entities think they can outsmart the divine, right? Infinite intelligence is what they're trying to outsmart, right? Infinite intelligence is just playing a new game with them every time. That's why so many new souls and so many light divine souls came here, light soldiers came here around the same time, right? Millennials, Gen Z, older Gen Alpha, right? So literally in that those few generations right there, okay, God sent a lot of divine spirits down. A lot. To play this game, right? Highly ranked divine beings are on this planet right now too. Not just earth angels. That's what I try to get y'all to understand. There are angels that work by the side of God on this planet too, that have incarnated to make sure that what the deletes and Illuminati Freemasons, what they were planning, wasn't gonna work out. All right. That's why they did that whole gate program stuff around the time they did, right? Remember, they were trying to, of course, they were aware, Project Looking Glass, so they were aware that so many divine souls were going to be coming through the portals, right? But, but they didn't catch all of them. They didn't. The spirits, they didn't catch the ones they should have been worried about. To be honest, they got a lot of new souls with the gate program, right? Because they were also, like I said, God sent down a lot of new souls through the portal of life, right? Around the same time too as the divine, highly ranked divine souls, right? So these are ancient souls that are on this planet right now as well in their incarnations, okay, of human vessels, okay. And they got some of the new souls, you know what I'm saying, but the real ancient ones they let slip by. They, I don't know how they did that. More like the ancient ones knew, like in their soul, to like, hey, don't feed into this, right? I like spirit just started me on this journey of learning about the gate program, because there are childhood memories that I have that still don't, like, that just didn't sit right with me, and then like when I found out about the gate program I was like, oh, that's why. That's why that stuff didn't sit right with me, because it was like, y'all, like seriously, they pulled me out of class for extra help. Mind you, I was already reading above my grade level. What extra help? I'm confused. I was so confused as a child, because I was like, y'all, I'm reading. I'm reading. Like, what are they talking about? I need extra help for. I'm like reading above my grade level at this point. Like, so I remember as a kid telling myself to mask needing, like, just play along, basically, like, don't give them too much. It was weird, like, I just, that's like my main core memory of that time when they would pull me to the side and everything, was telling myself to mask, like telling myself, okay, fit in, act like you're one of, you're just a normal kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't like just act like you're bored, and you want to do none of this, so you can go back to the rest of the class, so you don't have to ever do this, right? Like, I literally told myself to just fake it till you make it, hun. Like, get yourself back into the other class some way, shape, or form, but don't let them keep putting you in this. Like, and at the time I did not know why. I was telling myself to do that. But that was intuition working on heavy, like, just lie, you don't know what they doing, just you know what I'm saying. And it's like, when I hear other people who had the gate program experience too, like, some of them also said that they felt like they needed to lie to these people, like in the back of their head they were like, something was telling them to lie, and like, same for me, right? And that's what I did. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? And promise you, they never messed with me again. And I like, yeah, just for all their indoctrination to like slide quickly off after I turned 18. Like, that's the fun part, because like I said, I've had my gifts since I was a kid. Um, very early on in my life. Basically since consciousness, since I first became consciously aware, I've had my gifts in this realm, okay. Right. Clairvoyancy was very heavy, very potent beginning of my conscious, like becoming consciously aware in this realm for the first time, and being like, oh, I guess I like, so from that moment, clairvoyancy was very pungent. Clairaudiency, right? My clairaudiency did not show up until I was like 12. So like my clairvoyancy was, I already had that by the time I was like 6. So yeah, and like I said, I remember all the dreams I had from that early on to now. Is so boom, clairsentience. I started to feel clairsentience more. I would have to say around 14. So yeah, my intuition. I knew my intuition was good at 9. So, yeah, mixed with the clairvoyancy, yeah, yeah. When I say I've had these gifts since I was a kid, I'm not playing, y'all. I'm not playing. I just didn't know what they were as a kid, right? As a kid, right? I used to play with fairies and stuff, and they would be shimmers, right? I couldn't see their entire form, but I would see that they were like shimmers in the in like the space realm, right? Like if you know what, the veil's really thin, you can see things like fairies and stuff like that, right? Any mystical being that is on a high vibrational plane, okay, they take a little bit more sight to see, right? So as a young kid, I think this is before I knew my intuition was good. So like this is between 9 and 6 basically. I was playing with shimmers of fairies, like and it's crazy that I have that memory literally in my bedroom. Like we'd be like, I'd just be watching them fly around and I'd be like following them and like, oh, it was just crazy. It's crazy. Because it's like, how do I say this, like I seen their true form. They shown it to me one time when I was young, and it was like in a dream. And they showed me their like true fairy forms. And but it's like whenever I was like awake, all I could see was the shimmers. Right, I couldn't see their full form, only the shimmers. So it was very cool experience to have as a kid. Right, that's why I never like it never sat right with me when they were like magic doesn't exist, and I was like coming up as a kid like, what are you talking about? I swear to God, I was just playing with them fairies. Like, and you're telling me magic doesn't exist? What kind of realm is this? Yeah, I was distraught as a kid. So how you doing, daughter of Ram? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat, okay? Remember we do collective readings for free on Wednesdays and personal readings for energy exchanges on Thursdays. Okay. The energy exchange on Thursday can vary depending if you're just getting like a yes or no question. It could be something as simple as a subscription to the YouTube channel, or 5 roses on TikTok, right? It usually gets pretty simple for the yes or no questions, so everybody can be included in those. But 5 card, 3 cards, that energy exchange is always going to remain the same unless God tells us to do the $5 holla special, which is something we curated for you guys. But yeah, anywho, can you imagine, like, okay, 6 to 9 year old Alayia is playing with fairies in her bedroom, you know what I'm saying, living her best life, and then she gets to school and people are talking about magic don't exist. Like, what y'all mean? Y'all lying to me, because I swear. Then who were those shimmers? Like, seriously, I was literally like, nah, there's no way. There's no way. They're lying. There's no way. There's no way. And then like, what, 9 years old, my intuition, like I said, if you guys really know my history, okay, then you know that as a kid, I was very suicidal, right? Self-harm thoughts, right? When I was a kid, right? And what you call it, at 9 years old, that's when God was like, baby girl, you can't give up. You got things to do on this planet, okay? And I was like, huh? What you talking about? And at the time, at the time, content wasn't a big thing when I was 9, right? So it was for me when Spirit was like, baby, you go be a digital creator, babes. I was like, I'm gonna be a movie director? Like, that's what I interpreted it as. 9-year-old me was infatuated with movies, so I was like, I'm gonna be a movie director. I'm gonna be out here producing films and stuff, and doing what they do on the TV. Oh, I love that. Like, that's what I took it as anyway. And Spirit was like, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Whatever makes you happy at this time. Just don't take yourself off the planet yet. Okay, I need you on there. So basically, that was like the only reason I didn't opt out of this lifetime, was because God was like, 9-year-old child, I know it might seem rough now, but you got this. I need you here, gang. And I was like, okay, God, just for you, I'm gonna push through. And here we are at 23, about to be 24. God is the only reason I'm still here. I tell y'all straight like that. That is the only reason I'm still pushing on this planet. Okay, God, universe really came in to my aid. Okay, when I was young and I didn't want to be here anymore, and was like, "Hey, bro, I need you here. I need you to stick it out, gang. You said you was go stick it out." So I had no choice but to stick out for the good Lord. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Well then, if I stay, I need to be promised fun, right? I need this planet to not be boring and they talking about you gotta work until you die, fam. I can't do that. Spirit was like, haha, nah, fam. It was never supposed to be that way. That's why I tell people, my spiritual contract says Earth is supposed to be fun. Okay, so when I came down here and experienced the first 9 years of life, of course I was like, now they lying. I was promised fun. What is this? What is this? What is this reality? This is some BS. Yeah, thinking that pretty early on. Huh. Look, it's supposed to be fun because it's a learning planet, but we don't have to suffer to learn. That is what I'm getting at. Okay, Humble King. We don't have to suffer to learn. We can learn our lessons without also having to go through all this BS this realm has had us on for so long, right? And that was the purpose of Spirit saying that. Like, you are supposed to thrive and enjoy your life here. Yes, you got lessons to learn, but you are not supposed to be suffering through those lessons. You aren't supposed to be dragged through the mud to learn. Like, you don't have to do all that hardship to learn a lesson, so that's where I'm getting at on that, is that I was promised fun, that this planet wasn't gonna be whatever the heck it was right now. However, apparently I forgot the whole other part of the contract. That we have to deal with all this BS before it could be what it was always meant to be, right? Because it was always meant to be the Garden of Eden, right? It was always meant to be where we can come here and learn our lessons and grow and evolve as human beings, as spirits, right? And for some, it took a real big derail somewhere down the line, right? So yeah, that's the main like, that's what I'm saying when I say that, right? But yeah. So at 9 years old, Spirit was like, yeah, Alayia, don't give up. Don't give up. I need you, gang. I need you. So I didn't give up. I didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? I stuck it out, and promise you, I really thought until I was 18 that I was going to become a film director. You know what I'm saying? I really thought I was going to be Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? I really thought, guys. I really thought. Okay, I really thought. It's crazy because my first college was in art school for film directing. Right? Like, I really thought all the way. I prepared myself for that. that path, right? I was like, I'm gonna win 8 Oscars this lifetime. It's gonna be so fun, right? And then I started learning about Wayfair and about old Walmarts that could be turned into concentration camps, and I was like, wait a second now. And then Trump became president my freshman year, so it was like little stacks of things, that just was like, she really thought, she really thought that she was going down this path, right? When I was being introduced to conspiracy theories pretty young, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, new concepts arise, like, right? Oh, I love that this is calm waters ahead, period. Okay, it's a steady a boat on steady water. I love that. I love that symbolism right there, spirit. Okay, but like I was saying, basically my freshman all the way to my senior year. Yes, I was like still thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna become film director, everything, win 8 Oscars for my movies and everything, right? They're really gonna touch the souls of the people. That's how I was thinking. Like that was my main reason for that creation, to touch people's hearts and souls, right? And so what with like I said, I found out about the concentration camp conspiracy theory one day. Like somebody was using drones to go to these like old abandoned Walmarts, and it just like really started to have me thinking, like okay. And then the Wayfair scandal, right? I remember that clear as day, because you best believe I went on Wayfair's website when I found out, and I was like, who names furniture like this? And I was like, let me look into this more. You know what I'm saying? So I remember all of that in high school, right? So come 2020, right, my graduating year, when they hit us with I was like, oh, no prom, no graduation, everything, everything I had basically had prepared for in my heart, my body, my soul for. You know what I'm saying? I prepared. I was ready to graduate. I was ready to go to prom. You know what I'm saying? I was honestly ready for that, right? And Spirit was like, let me hold your hand when I tell you this, gang. You don't get one. And it's like, oh, okay, right, which then led to the spiritual awakening, right? Because then I was like, what's life? What is life if I don't get these? Right, everyone I know all had their, like, everyone older than me had their prom. Like, what do you mean I don't get a prom? Like I was stressing. My ego was like basically crashing out. That was that dark night of soul. My ego was like, what you mean? What you mean? I was supposed to have my fairy tale. What you talking about? So it was crazy. It was crazy, guys. I was really going through it at that time. But yes, it is crazy. Yeah. Like my high school experience, just like how it's all layered on top of each other, especially with my childhood. Like I said, I used to play with fairies when I was a kid. I couldn't see their full forms, but I could see their shimmers and their outlines. And they'd be zipping and zooming all over the room. Okay, promise, we was always playing, right? And like then my clairvoyancy taking root when I was like 6, right? Then my clairaudiency taking root when I was 12, right? So it was like all my spiritual gifts were starting to comply on top of each other as a kid. However, right, yeah, okay, period. Because it's like I don't know. My eye as a kid definitely wasn't perceiving them fully, but I knew they were there. I knew their presence was there. That they were there because of the shimmers. It was like, and I said, I think I mentioned, like in a dream they showed me their true forms, but it was just like when I was awake, I just couldn't see that much, right? So yeah, so it's like a stack of all these life experiences that led to, right, my 18th birthday, and not even 6 months after having a spiritual awakening, right, because of all these life experiences, right, that I was going through as a kid. And was it Oh yeah, and I'm always was always questioning things, especially in history class. I questioned the heck out of my history teachers. Um, you can tell when some of them didn't like it, because they were like, cognitive dissonance started to come in, and they were like, what you, because I always asked, I was like, why wouldn't China one day feel like they need to come collect on that debt? And like my teacher was like, well, no, but and I'm like, well, hey, you know what I'm saying? You owe me trillions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, you owe me trillions of dollars. I don't know, gang. You want me to? I know they have a system where like it makes sense, but like at the same time it doesn't, because like we that means we are in debt to them. Like, is that just you guys just are okay with that? Like you just that doesn't sit wrong in your spirit, like you know. So yeah, I was hitting them with those hard points, like this doesn't feel right, like this doesn't feel wrong to you guys, we're just going with this, like. So yeah, and it's crazy because I had to take an AP class to really dive into slavery in high school, right? Otherwise, they really don't teach about slavery in schools anymore, right? And no, they can't. They can't think, right? Just that's the see that reminds me of my last year in 2025, fall of 2025, I took a philosophy class, like an intro to philosophy class, which I already think on a higher level than the intro class anyway. But right, I was like I had a grad student who was my teacher, and man, when I was talking about certain times, especially we got to the red pill, blue pill conversation, I was like, none of you guys are ready to think as deeply as I'm about to make y'all think in this discussion post. Like, I went off. I was like, yeah, yeah, and of course, I ruffled feathers with my conversations. They were upset. Now, I even had to like check the grad student, because I was like, personally, it feels like you have like you don't want to listen to my viewpoints, because you know what I'm saying, like you have your own different opinion about it, and so that you're coming with your opinion versus, you know what I'm saying, they weren't ready for me, they was not ready for me, but I was trying to get the students ready for this year. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the teachers and the professors or nothing like that. It was about getting the new students that were in college ready for this year, right? Because they needed to be exposed to more, right? So, so like, yeah, I know they all thinking about my post this year, like, how did she know? How is she aware of these things? What? Yeah. But yeah, no, I had to get on him about that. And I was like, you're not going to hinder my grade because you have your own personal beliefs. That's not what a discussion is about, right? And especially as you as the teacher, you know what I'm saying? You need to go ahead and put your own beliefs on a separate back burner and grade my work for what it is, okay? Not for what you believe it to be, right? And so then I had, you know, the actual professor in on that conversation, and, you know, like we figured it out and they bumped my grade up. So I was like, good, because I don't know what y'all trying here, but like, just because you're upset, that ain't got nothing to do with me, right? My writing was still good, my points were still there, so I don't know where you're trying to get at just because you don't like it. Like, that's not my problem. So yeah, that was a fun time. Now they're realizing, you know, exactly, hate is gonna hate, that's all you can do. Like, and I knew going into that class, I was like, oh, I'm gonna speak on truth, I don't care. It's like, I don't care what other people, like, you know, how they are going to, let me say it like this, okay, if it ruffles feathers, it was meant to ruffle feathers, right? It was meant to, because it has to challenge your own paradigm, right? And that's what the intent was. I wanted to challenge their already structured, indoctrinated paradigms, right? Because I know a lot of the students taking the intro to philosophy class, freshmen, straight out of high school, boom, straight out of the indoctrination system of high school, 12-year program, right? Boom. So higher education, critical thinking learning is in college. So let me make you think before you continue this education. All right, let me make you think. Okay, let me help you out here. Right. So yeah, that was a fun time. I definitely brought up Dr. Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard. I definitely brought their names up a few times. And what, Dr. Alpert, like Ram Dass, like I brought up his name. I brought up these authors' names. These are scientists. These are like Neville Goddard, no, but Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Alpert were both scientists, right? Still scientists to this day, that have turned spiritualists, right, and turned their research into more spiritual science research, right? So metaphysics, as you could call it, right? But like I said, those two were literal. You could call them new age, but they did the work to be where they're at in their journeys, right? So it was like the teacher was trying to minimize their work, and I was like, Dr. Joe Dispenza literally came back from a back spine injury he shouldn't have came back from. Don't play. Don't play on Dr. Joe Dispenza's play. Don't play. He literally got into a really bad bike accident. He was gonna need surgery, and then that they didn't know that if after the surgery he would be able to walk. Tell me why that man is walking today and he never got an ounce of surgery. Like, you're not gonna tell me he didn't do the proper work. You know what I'm saying? That he didn't figure this out, how to heal his body through energy. This is a recorded, like this, what happened to him is recorded in history. Like, the hospital does have his medical records for how bad his back was, right, versus what it is now. So it's like nobody could explain it scientifically yet. So it's like, come on now. Dr. Alpert literally, what you call it, he went the psychedelic route, okay? And so he was using psychedelics to help him reach a point in his spiritual, awakening. And that's when he was like, shoo, I'm gonna go to India. He went to India, found Mahadri in the temples, and that Mahadri literally taught him how to balance his chakras, how to literally the like energy of life, right? Taught him all the secrets that he needed to know about the universe. Basically, even took some of the psychedelics in front of him and said, "There's no difference to me because I was already here when." So I was already at this point up here. My spiritualness, like, it didn't even have an effect on me. For you, it's helping you because you're not in a certain place in your journey yet. But for me, it barely did anything, right? And it's yeah. When you watch Doctor Strange, yes, that's actually a good movie to talk about the Carnelian Law with, right? Because like you see, they're monks, right, who practice their way, and the one lady, his teacher, Dr. Strange's teacher, right, was able to tap his soul out of his physical form, right? Which you are able to do that on your own. You don't need somebody to force it out. You could do it on your own through astral projection, right? Which was another topic I had talked on in that class. Because I was like, oh, don't forget, you can astral project, guys. Oh, you guys don't know yet, huh? Like, it's okay. I'm gonna teach y'all all now about this stuff, because it's not really about the grade for me. Like, school is a stepping stone for me. It's not really, it's just to have the degrees. It's really not like, I can't learn all this stuff on my own. It's just for the degrees. That's it. But yeah. Basically, yeah. Basically, yeah. It was definitely a good time. Because it was an online class, and when she said you guys get to put a discussion in here, I was like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because I'm gonna use this time. I'm gonna use this time to plant seeds and plant so many seeds. Okay. Exactly. Exactly. That's right. It's just for the degrees. It's not for. I'm not taking away most of the stuff, especially with my medical programs. I'm like, no, thank you, because I know Rockefeller had a big part to play in this. And basically, all you guys would be able to teach me is nonsense, and that's why I'm like, when doctors literally don't have their own discernment or critical thinking skills to do their own research on this stuff, it really blows me away, because I'm like, how are you a doctor? how you don't even question the fact that herbal medicine was taken out of the school programs? You don't question that? That's weird. Okay. Mm-hmm. Exactly, we are building the heaven on earth, okay, here. All right. That's why I started out this live by telling you guys to remember we are co-creators of this realm, and anything we don't want here will not come to fruition, and anything we do want here, we can make it and manifest it here, right? Because there's a lot going on in the world. So observe, don't get swept up in it. Observe, don't get swept up in it, right? We can observe without also feeding in, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. Okay. You say you're given a mission, but it's been challenging looking for the right people to align with. I get that, king. I'm sorry, words. Humble king. I get that though. Because you gotta allow them to find you, right? You gotta allow the people that are meant for your mission, right? Attract them to your being, okay? Just keep being your authentic self, and the people that are meant to do this mission with you are going to align with you, okay? Hi, Kai, you back? How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. So, we, uh, where's my train of thought? Let me know how you're doing, hun. The yes. So, I mean, I have been, making and posting videos, and talking about the type of person I am and my mission. Yeah, for like over a year now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still finding my people, right? People are still coming to me, right? I just make sure that I am here, I am present, so that when their soul guides them to me, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? They can find me. That it's easy to find me here, because I'm putting myself out there, so that they don't have to look far and wide for me. So yes, law of attraction. Okay, but definitely, it's gonna work itself out, right? You're not chasing them, you're attracting them. Okay. And it's we're all in different parts of the world right now, but this year, don't give up hope, because this year is definitely going to be a lot of divine beings meeting up in the physical realm, which is what I'm gathering for now. I'm trying to get prepared for now, is for us to have these kind of conversations in person, make plans in person, right? But we're still doing the work online, okay, until that day, right, that we could do things like that, okay, where we can have like a base or somewhere we can meet, where we can plan out how we're going to change this system, okay, because I've been talking to like many people about like how to incorporate heaven on earth and really move us into the world peace timeline that benefits all of humanity, not just some of us, but all of us right on this planet, and also takes care of our planet's health, because I would like Earth to be around for a few more billions of years, okay? Because it's meant to last for a few more billions of years. It was never, you know what I'm saying, meant to die out so quickly. So we do have to work on getting Mother Gaia's health back up. We do have to work on making sure everyone is taken care of, everyone's looked after, right? I know my biggest mission is ending homelessness on this planet, and making sure that all the kids that are right now being human trafficked, right? That they have somewhere to go and somewhere like people to look after them and love them and cherish them and rebuild their light energy inside of them, right? So that they don't, that darkness doesn't take form and outshine their light, right? So they're gonna need it, especially everyone involved with the Epstein files, all the kids that are, like I said, still being trafficked. They're gonna need a home. They're gonna need people to look after them. So that those are my two biggest concerns on this planet right now. That making sure there's housing for everyone and making sure that those kids are not alone when we do bring all of these all of the human trafficking rings to an end, to a close, and to justice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Period. That's what I like to hear. Right. So those are my two biggest things on this planet right now. I know there's I like I said, I would love to create like a little homestead town where all our soul tribe can like buy a bunch of land and we live on that land together and we take care of each other like a real village. Okay. I would like it run on solar power. If we need generators could be a backup thing, right? Like it by some form of water so we can have clean water, right? We need farmland, we need cattle, right? We need organic food, exactly. We need ways to communicate without technology, like walkie talkies, that don't need what you call it, the towers, the ones that just connect to the frequencies, on the wave lines, right? Trying to think. There's a lot of things we can do, right? So we gotta make sure that we are planning those things out and we are getting that stuff organized, right? Exactly. Yep. um I know people want to do, like, I've talked to people who want to do like bigger systems. Of course we do need to rework as a whole worldwide. We have to just stop the borders. The whole border thing to me needs to be abolished, right? Borders, what borders? Why? We are all citizens of this earth. Destroy the borders. We gotta destroy those. Like we can't keep blocking each other out because you live here and they live here. Like that's gotta go. Dictators, monarchy, gotta go. Sorry, it's gotta go. Anything that is not in alignment with world peace gots to go. Meaning you do not have hierarchy over anybody. Monarchy shouldn't even still be a thing. Somehow trick people to allowing them to keep their titles as king and queens when they're not. Anywho, exactly, no fake peace, which is what we have right now. Fascist countries, communist countries, right? And then we have royalty. Why do we need royalty? I'm confused. They're fake prophets anyway. So like these are fake kings and queens anyway. I'm confused why we are still calling them that. Like, nah. Like they need to go ahead, dethrone them. Dictators. Every single dictator needs to be taken down. Every single last one. Like, and people are like, well, wouldn't that cause this it's not like mafia rules, right? This is not like lay down or get down, but this is okay. Hey, if the rest of the world is in agreement that this should no longer be a way of life, then you need to get with the program, right? That's all it is, right? And that's why I say there is going to be a world revolution in this century, right? Because the countries that do have fascist leaders, communist leaders, right, dictators among their ranks right now, right? Yes, we might have to help them get rid of them, but they're also going to have to revolt against those leaders, right? So that's all gonna be. It's gonna be a one of those centuries, okay, that going down, and we're gonna be talking about this century for a while, okay? What happened here? in this timeline. Yes, yes, the economic system needs to go to, like, we need to bring back bartering. That's why I like the app Miera, because I just got my services put on there, black owned businesses, right? But they have bartering on there, so you can barter items. You don't have to like pay, but like it's just like a trade system, right? And we need to bring that back because I don't know where it went, but it needs to be brought back. Yes, like it doesn't make sense. And yeah, certain things are still gonna require money, but it shouldn't be in the format in as capitalism has it right now, right? Money should not be the end all be all. And then these dollars, bro, they gotta go, bro. They gotta go. We gotta find some other currency. I mean, gold and silver are literally natural upon the earth. This other stuff is taking down too many trees and stuff. Let me put it in the chat for you. There you go. That's the app name. Um, what you call it, yeah, money doesn't make sense, especially the way that it's used for control and power. And it's like if money was used to make sure like everybody could eat, everybody got healthcare, everybody was housed, right? If money was used in that format, right, everybody got education, right, everybody, emergency funds, right? If something happens, okay, you automatically, here you go, some money because you're human, boom. And money was used in that way, right? Oh, funding programs so that we can build things that benefit us all, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if money was used that way, is different than how they're using money now, which is just to consume a bunch of things that we don't even need. Like we don't need all that stuff on this planet. Like that's just cluttering the space that we do have here, right? And it's like you guys want us to just have a whole bunch of items around us, and it's like, that's too many things outside of us, right? And yeah, it was made to limit freedom and manipulate power. Exactly. That's a really good point. It really was used that way, and to keep people down, right? When they started coming up with the US dollar, I mean, this was literally like, oh man, the wrong people got rich first. That's what I'm gonna say. The wrong people got rich first, okay? The wrong people. Because if it had been in, somebody else's hands, right, in a divine light child's hands, right, it would have never turned out that way. However, you know what I'm saying, the wrong people got access to it way too early. And they capitalized off of it, right? They made a system that made sure that they'd stay rich, right, for eons, generations. You know what I'm saying? Generations on top of generations on the type of generations, finding ways to reincarnate back in that same bloodline so that they can stay rich. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted a system that made sure they could keep coming back to wealth and riches. And it's quite insane. It's their system. Yeah, exactly. If it was a tool, right, it would have looked a lot differently than a system, right? Because that's why they made capitalism. You know what I'm saying? That's the system of money. You know what I'm saying? That's why they made that, right? That's why they approached it the way that they approached it. Because they never wanted people they didn't see as worthy, right? Getting money and everything like that, and mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so they can benefit directly from it, right? The healthcare system, we got to do a lot of work on the healthcare system. Like, what these doctors and nurses who don't even realize they've been brainwashed in school is like, I don't know how. Like, I don't take what my professor is saying at word of mouth. I'm taking it for a grain of salt. You could have been brainwashed too in your day of school. Okay, so let me go ahead and do my own research then. Like, that's how I took it. Especially my biological foundations class, bro. I was like, let me do my own research on this. So I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on how I feel about this. Right, about the things we're talking about. Like, and I plan to do that for every class about science because it's like, to me, science is behind because it doesn't incorporate spirituality spirituality, because if it did, we wouldn't be as behind in science. Which and I say behind in a public collective forte, right? Now, in the depths of secrecy, right? We're exactly where we should be, right on time, okay? In the depths of secrecy, right? But in our what we are aware of in science realm, right? We don't. We are so far off from what we should be, right? But that's why they keep all the really cool technology hidden. You know what I'm saying? They keep all of that stuff hidden. No, no, y'all not ready for this yet. Like, who are you to decide what humanity is ready for? Like, like that is such an egotistical way of thinking. Who are you to determine what humanity is ready for? Like, you're nobody. So stop determining what we can handle and what we can't handle. Like, that's why I don't like these government systems, because it's like, no, you have to give everybody the chance to be able to figure out what they can handle and what they can't handle, where they can grow and where, they've already grown in that area. Like, you can't make that decision for others. That's not how we as a collective grow either, right? It's not going to help us get to where we need to get to as a collective. And that's why that's why I said, I think we talked just a little earlier in the live, I was saying, like, this is why they're pushing out new technology. They're trying to distract us, right? They're trying to distract us. They're pushing out new technology. They're trying to distract us. Simple. Oh my goodness, like, what's that? I seen this, my brother showed me this hoverboard thing that's like modeled like a wheel, and it kind of rides like a motorcycle, right? And I'm like, I'm not surprised that exists already. Like, it probably existed decades ago, and they're just now bringing it out because they're like, here you go, new shiny toy, be distracted. Ha. Don't worry about the fact that we still haven't posted the rest of the Epstein files. Look at this shiny new toy. Like, same with AI generated videos. They came out with AI generated videos a conveniently time where information on the internet, what I'm saying, can be misconstrued, misinterpreted, what I'm saying, people not sure what's real and what's not, what I'm saying. They did that at such a convenient time, what I'm saying. Now let me cause more confusion. What I'm saying? That's what they did. That's why they keep bringing out this stuff. And oh, thank you, hon, sending you the love back, period. Love bomb. Okay, so yeah, yeah, they definitely are doing things to try to distract people from it, right? And yes, thank you, hon. People are like getting wrapped up in that stuff, right? It's like, I don't know how some people are still perpetuating the system, like they're still playing into it, and it's like, at this point, when you live by it doesn't affect you, right? It's not affecting you, so you shouldn't be worried about it. But like, the kids are our future. Right? And if something happens to our kids, we should all be concerned, okay? Exactly. Yes, sadly, exactly. And it's like this one show. It's called All of Us Are Dead, right? And it's a zombie show, right? But the main thing that stuck with me in that show was nobody came to save those kids. Like, that was the part in my heart that like literally sunk. The older generations were worried about themselves and getting themselves to the safety camps and everything like that. But there was an entire high school that nobody went to check in on, right? And it was like, the only people that went to check in on that high school was the father of one of the kids, and then one of the agents who said they would go with them, right? So that was it. That was the only people that really went into check. Weeks later, right? like this is, I want to say weeks later, but this is like after the first outbreak in the show, right? So it's been a minute now. It's been a minute. The kids have been trying to survive in a high school, right, by themselves, nobody with them, right? And then eventually, the military was like, "Oh, did anyone ever go check in on that high school? Like, what? Y'all like older generations got to realize that we are not gonna be here, uh, right when the kids take over. So we need to build something so that the kids can take over and they'll be at peace and not having to literally sit there the whole time, right? Wondering like, what did the older generations really do for us? You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, that I was hoping they came out with a second season. But they didn't, and that was fine because it was like the message in there was like really, it was really deep. It was hitting home. It was like they literally were made an entire video going like, do the older generations even care about the kids? And they were like, so they even, oh my goodness, there's a specific line they go over that they were like, I don't remember the line directly, but the kids even talk about it. They're like, are we a society that prioritize our older generations, or are we a society that prioritize our children? And they were like, well, look around, we're still in this high school, so you know which one we prioritize. And I was like, ooh, that hit my soul. And we cannot allow the children to feel this way. In actuality, in reality, like we just cannot allow the children to feel like we do not prioritize the new generations over the old generations, right? That just cannot happen any longer. As you can see, and even the parallel to it is our own reality. I mean, we got an 80-year-old president in the United States of America when we should have a 40-something-year-old president. We should have a young president. Instead, we have one that is on the brink of death. Still wanting to control and run things. Like, exactly. There's something really, I'm like, these TV shows and these movies, man, they really do explain concepts that you can parallel to reality. And you're like, what the, that concept in and of itself, right? It makes you think, this government would not save the kids. They wouldn't save the kids. If a zombie apocalypse were to break out and kids were at school right now, they would not go for those schools. They wouldn't. It would take parents, teachers, right? It would take the people that actually care about the kids wanting to go there, but the government would not do that. We could see that parallel. Like if that were to take place, we would see they would not go take care of them, right? Yeah, because it's literally they subconsciously place seeds in our head through it, right? They use the 12 karmic laws and they mash them together into the Carnelian law, right? And they take aspects of that so they can loophole, right? Cause and effect law, right? Where they do all these things behind our back, but still are telling us in some way, shape, or form, planting the seed, right? And we don't realize it until it's already hindsight, right? But we did know about it when they put it in plain sight, you know. So it's like, and that's why I really do like look into that, because especially with that show, like that hit hard, because I was like, dang. Dang. And that's why it's I wouldn't say that is why, but like I would add that on to another reason why we can't leave these kids alone. Like I had visions, like there are kids in cages right now. Right? Like I've had visions of these things. There are kids in literal cages. Some of them are feral. Like some of them don't even know what being like a person is anymore. Like it's bad. And I am very like passionate, like we have to save those children, like just like no, there's nothing that can be said that would change my mind on why we shouldn't. Like we need to, like this is something that needs to be taken care of like immediately. right? Because it's not okay. And as you see, none of the Hollywood occult stars or rappers or musicians, you know what I'm saying? None of these politicians, nobody that has this influence is saying anything. Is using their money for good. None of them. None of them. They just like, hopefully they don't see me. Um, let me drop an album real quick. Don't forget about me, y'all. Like, come on, J. Cole, bro. That was sus, man. The Fall Off album, that was sus, man. I don't know. You dropped that at a very convenient time. J. Cole said, let me get out of here while I can. Shoo. But is about to do a whole tour on that album. Come on, y'all can't be this like, come on, y'all. Like, yes, I agree. Some of his songs do have some spiritual messages, some, but like, you tell me it isn't convenient that bro said, "Let me go help, let me do the Fall Off album before the Fallout." Before they take me away, as they can't say I'm one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying, if I don't bow down now and be like, okay, y'all, I'm stepping down. The rest of y'all gonna be caught slacking when they fall out with y'all, and they try to come for y'all heads. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm strategically stepping down from this role because apparently the fallout is coming, and it's not gonna be good for me if I'm still up here. So that's like, it's like, J. Cole, like, right? Oh, somebody was saying that Taylor Swift made a music video to a song she released. Like, it was like, come on, y'all not paying attention to how they moving right now. They're trying to get anything to distract you, like anything they can to distract you from what the truth is, right? They're trying to use it all. They're trying to use it all, right? The Super Bowl's still going with Bad Bunny. I don't even know who's heard of Bad Bunny like that, but apparently, people be eating it up. Nom nom nom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, guys, we're not paying attention like we should be. Even though if you read the Epstein files, you'd probably start looking at things like, yeah, that's distraction. That's a distraction. That's a distraction, right? You'd see what's it, like the Matrix movie when he puts on the glasses, and he starts seeing everything for what it truly is, right? And they've been pushing division. They've been doing that, yeah, for some time now. I mean, that they have been trying to. I would say that 2016 was a real pivotal point in our reality, for that division pushing, right? And they, like, from then it just kept getting like, ooh, it's getting really sad over here. It's getting like, I don't, right? Like, there's so much malice that people have not dealt with in their own hearts, right? And it really stems from things like jealousy, envy, right? Self-hatred, right? It's the malice is that, they themselves are not okay with themselves, and they are projecting it out onto everyone else. Um, and that does cause that division, because it's like, we are being open, right, to you, right, and you're not being open to us, right? So yeah, rich versus poor. And it's like, it's not the rich versus poor, it's morality versus immorality, right? What's right versus what's wrong, what's horrible versus what's good. Like, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're up against. And right now it's not black versus white. Like, the color of our skins, none of us can control that. I don't know why we even arguing about that. The men versus women, none of us can control that. I don't even know why we're arguing about that. It's like, you're born as whatever you're born as. Like, chill out. Rich versus poor, you know what I'm saying? That one, right, like that, it really doesn't matter, because it's really um the viewpoints of morality versus the immorality. And if the rich are going I have all this money. It doesn't matter if I'm, ethically correct. It doesn't matter if my morals are aligned. Then that's a problem, versus like the poor, like wants to be on a moral road, wants to keep integrity, right? Whereas they who have money don't want to do that, right? So it's not really rich versus poor. It's just ideals of right versus wrong. Um, and we do have to like see it that people and people are because yes, I would say it is an ancient war between good and evil on this planet going on, right? And like I said, that's why it's more of a spiritual warfare and a psychological warfare than a physical one, because like I said, all they got to do is push a couple ads, put some new music out there, boom, 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 right? Get the frequencies going. Now your brain is not where it should be on a cognitive level, right? Right. Then you have they put bringing out new movies, bringing out here's this sport game, new technology, new tech, right? Like then it's like nothing is getting done. It's just they're trying to it's a weird time we live in, to be honest. Like with everything that's going on, it's weird. It is weird. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun in it, to be honest with you guys, because it's funny, in a sense, like because it's like being aware of this is like you're like, okay, well, I know that they're trying this and that, like it's serious, right? Because we need to figure this out and we need to deal with it. But it's funny because it's like you guys are literally looking like somebody cut your head off and are running around right now trying to figure out what to do to stop the truth from coming out right now. So it's a time. It's a time. Like they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, right? But I do need everyone to like stay positive and believing that truth is going to come out, right? Stay in that regard, stay positive that the truth will reveal itself, okay? Because I've talked to people who don't think certain things are gonna come out, and I'm like, ah ha ha ha. Now while I'm alive, it's coming out. Like it's coming out. The Vatican files coming out. I don't care. Okay, we will storm Italy if you don't bring out them Vatican files. Okay, come out. Bring them out. Tell us the ancient history. Go ahead. Go ahead. Bring out the real version of the Bible. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. Tell us about why you guys aren't actual, evangelists and everything like that. Go ahead. Tell us that the Pope is creating demonic portals. Go ahead. Like, do. You're already talking about everything in the Epstein files, even though you're trying to redact things, which I knew was going to happen. I predicted that was going to happen months before it came out, right? So I was like, yeah, I knew they were going to do that. Pay attention though, because that's the problem, right? That's the thing you need to pay attention to, what they're redacting, right? Because it was never going to be the victims' names, right? It was never going to be their photos and everything like that. It was always going to be these very high, powerful 13 family riches. Okay, families that they took out of here. Okay, Freemasons, Illuminati, that's who they are redacting right now, right? That's the information they're taking out of there. I don't know what Rothschild did to get himself exposed in that last drop, but the Rothschild family definitely got snitched on first. so so that right there is already a lineup for how many of the other 13 families, right? 12 out of 13 families are also in that playbook, right? Also in those files there, right? So yeah, no, yeah, Vatican files got to come out. Okay, they got to come out. We just there's no reason to hide it. You know what I'm saying? All these secret organizations, I need y'all to come out. Stop all that secretness. We need everything that's in the dark right now is coming to the light. Let's learn about it all. You know what I'm saying? It's the perfect year. Let's bring it all out into the light, into the open. Okay, so that we can do what it do. All right, we can figure out a way to move on forward from here. Right, but it needs to all be out in the open. Everything about multi universes, everything about multiple dimensions, everything about right, their clones. doppelgangers, different timelines. They're machines to for the Mandela effects, right? Everything they have working against us, they need to bring it out to the light. All of it, every single last piece of information. Well, I need that. I need that like yesterday, like yesterday on my desk, like yesterday. They need to go ahead and put that you know what I'm saying, because we are God's children, right? And like I said, we have the power to co-create this reality. And if we said we want it on our desk yesterday, that means put it on our desk yesterday. Okay? That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean take your time with it. It means put it on our desk immediately. Like you guys were supposed to bring out the entire 6 million papers already, okay, 2 months ago. Like stop playing. Stop playing. We said bring them out. So that's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. There, like I said, by the grace of the good Lord, the divine, it's gonna happen, right? It's already set in stone, right? So it's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's just it's just funny because it's like they're trying to delay the inevitable, and it's like stop it, you guys. It's not gonna make it better for you if you keep delaying it. If anything, you're gonna make it 10 times worse. Like, do you want? Like, I get it. You don't want to fall from your position or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. You gotta get off that high horse sometime. And if you don't think we won't knock you off it, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like eventually, bro, we gonna need you to get here. They want to hold it. They do want to hold it. That's their main purpose. Is they want to hold on to the power and keep it going and everything like that. But I don't think they realize the history of things. Like some people they got guillotines, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think y'all want to go down that route. I would like for us to have a bloodless coup, but it's like you might piss some people off, you know what I'm saying? Keep holding that information, okay? They are making us stronger though. They are making us stronger, definitely. Definitely. It is making people realize that we shouldn't be living in individualism, and we should have been keeping up with our villages this entire time, in our communities and building those, which is gotten a lot of light workers and star seeds, right, which is gathering and, like you said, building your soul tribe, the people that are aligned with you, so that we have those strong knit connections in the physical and in the ethers, right? So it is making us stronger. It is making us stronger. I mean, they're going about this really wrong, because it's like when you lie to your parents and they know you lying, right? So it's like if you just say the truth, right, it probably wouldn't be as bad, right? But you keep on with the lies, then it's like, oh, okay, 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 right? See how that works out. Okay. Um, it's it's a mixture, right? It's just if your soul is like an incarnate here on this planet, right? From another dimension, right? Basically, and light worker base, it's just like your soul is it's really no difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say all the terms because everybody has their own term that they identify with, but there's really like no difference. Like, you are a high dimensional being, light beam here, right? Like, you are light in a physical form, right? So that's how I explain it. There are people who, right, know that they are incarnates of different alien races, right? They have gone through that life cycle, okay? Then there are people who know that they're supposed to be doing light work on this planet, like bringing light to this planet, right? Okay. So it could be like a parallel universe to Earth, right? Because sometimes parallel universes do like collapse into each other, right? And what you call it? I know you could timeline jump from different timelines and jump into another timeline, right? So that's a possibility as well. I would say definitely look into star seeds, but just like allow your journey to unfold, not rushing to like label it, right? Oh wow, yeah. Hmm. Why was I having a conversation? We were because it's like Jupiter has like 95 moons, right? And I'm like, are we? I was having a conversation with my brother, and we're like, are we sure those just aren't like really big meteors that like gravitated to Jupiter's pool and are now just stuck in orbit, and now we're just considering them moons, like because they never like fully crashed as like a meteor would, right? But like now they're just stuck in orbit, and now they're like, shining the sun off the light, like, are we sure they're actual moons, and how are we sure that our moon isn't just a meteorite that didn't get caught up in the, that didn't just get caught up in Earth's gravitational pull and just was there when, what I mean? Like there's questions. There's questions. But yeah, definitely if you are in tune with your spiritual guidance team and your ancestors, right, eventually they'll tell you which one, you more identify with, right? I know I am an incarnate of a very specific angel. So that came with time. They won't give me a name though. They will not tell me my name. Um they will not tell me my angelic name yet though. They won't tell me it. They said no, not yet, dear, not yet. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Then this one day, this random meteor was like, now I'm stuck in Earth orbit, never to ever to leave again. You're a warrior? Okay, period. So, you could be one of God's divine warriors, the light warriors that were sent down here, because there are a lot of divine warriors on this planet at this time, who were definitely sent here to handle some concepts on this planet if they were to take place, especially the stuff going on with the aliens. The ones that are already here, right? Not the ones in the Galactic Federation that we can't contact because of the stupid treaties they signed. Um, I believe the files say that they signed it in the 40s. However, I found proof that they knew about aliens back. So, I gotta look for it again, guys. This is like years ago. I was on these, on these deep rabbit holes. But yeah, they're and the say and a master builder. Okay, that's what we like to see. Period. Yes. So it's like what is it? So like yeah. So like they've known him since the 30s, right? There's a contract from the 40s, right? So they believe like there was some speculation around World War II, having to deal with aliens, at the time, especially around in Germany, like a lot. But those aliens are not the nice ones. They're not the nice ones. They're the ones that, if they could use humanity to get their way too, they would, you know. Whereas the Galactic Federation are the ones that actually want humanity to evolve past this war and famine stage. You know what I'm saying? This stage of the stage of literally not being in togetherness and oneness, right? They want us to evolve past that point so that we can, finally introduce ourselves to them and they can introduce themselves to us, right? But with us in this pillar and plunger energy, right, like that the earth is moving out of currently, but you know what I'm saying, all this war energy, and we're moving out of that energy. They just can't interfere with that right now, right? Because there's a lot going on. They had to do it themselves, so there's really no point of them interfering if we can't do it ourselves, so that. And then I always tell you guys the one I went remote viewing one day. It was a very interesting remote viewing because I didn't, sometimes I like, yes, I can astro project on like command and everything, but sometimes spirit just be having me like in the weirdest of places without giving me any type of warning, and then I become self-aware in there and I'm like, oh goodness, why did you send me here? So it's funny because literally, the dream realm is the fourth dimension, so it is always happening, right? Everything you encounter in the dream realm is happening in a dimension, right? Even if it's not this one, right? It is happening, it is occurring. And I was like at I was in Disney World for like a family vacation, right? Like my family is too late for some of them. There's too like, it's too late for some of them. They got, Disney memberships and stuff like that. I don't even tell them, they already too deep, so but what's called, we were going to a family trip there, and we were in one of the buildings, right? It's one of the buildings. They have multiple of these buildings in Disney World, but it you have to go inside to wait in the line, right? So that you can get to the ride, right? It's not always you wait outside to get to the ride. It's you're inside a building, and you're waiting in line to get to the ride. So we were in there, right? And I don't know what I decided to do because I was being nosy for no good reason. I was like, shoot. So why we get to the top of the line, because I become self-aware like before we get to the top of the line, right? And why we get up there and the workers are like, you're not supposed to be here, you're not supposed to be here. And I was like, oh shoot, they realize, oh god, they know I'm not supposed to be here. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go, they're gonna send me back to my reality, freak. So I ran. I ran fast. I was gone. I was out of there. I was like, oh God, they're gonna send me back. They know I'm not supposed to be in this room. Oh God. And that happens to me a lot because I infiltrate a lot of stuff. That once they realize it's my energy, they're like, oh shoot, she's not supposed to be here. I'm like, gotta run, gotta blast. You're not gonna catch me. I've done that too many times. Too many times, guys. So I run to the basement, right? I'm like, shoot, the basement. It's the only way out. Let me go. Let me go. Right. So I'm in there. I run. It's like double doors, and I run in, and I'm like, oh God, it's pitch black in here. Why? Why is it so pitch black? Right. But then I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't even know where to go after this. Is there a door? Can I get out of here? Right? Like, where am I going? And a light comes from the center of the room. Like, this is like a divine light. Like, trust me, this is there is no light in this room. So this is like a looking glass light. Boom, right on this big scaly creature. I've never seen nothing like this before, and I was like, what is that? What is that? Why? Like, it's like, hold on, how do I even let me show this? Like, okay, it's like, okay, I'm standing straight, right? But it's like this, like this, like it's weird, and it's red, and it's very scaly, and I was like, what the, like, and that's when I noticed that there are like bunk beds and like some cribs, and I was like, hmm, what? And because and then I run into one, so stealth mode was not activated apparently. So I literally was like, oh shoot, what the, and like I didn't really get a good look um at like the bunk beds and the cribs. Whatever creature that was monitoring them, right, and basically watching over them like a caregiver, right? It was very weird. It 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 just seemed more like a daycare symbol, right? Like a breeding station, not really like a prison, because none of them were like trapped in here. Like I said, it's just bunk beds and like some cribs and stuff. But nobody was trapped in these rooms. And I realized that because what the light was on them, and they literally I don't know what I was doing, but I was trying to sneak out of there. And the light went from the like another like the light was on them when I was focusing on them, and then the light went to a door, and it was like, go out this door, go out this door. And I was like, oh shoot, let me go. I'm going. And this creature, that's when they sensed my energy, bro. That's when they sensed I was in their room, bro, because they started trying to chase me, bro. I was like, oh, they know I'm here. Gotta blast. You know, because it was like they were literally like the light was like disappearing as I was going for the door, and I was like, oh goodness, I'm gonna be caught if I don't get out of here in time. So I literally had to get out that door. And I was like, where do I go? Because the thing didn't stop. Like when the door closed, it didn't stop chasing me. Like it wanted to see who I was. Like who my like basically my how my energy showed up in that form. Basically, it was trying to figure out who I was. Like intellectually. Like it was crazy. And I literally went across the halls, and there was more like daycare stuff, like kids stuff, like everywhere, and like there's kids there and everything. And they were like, more like regular, like it looked more human, but at the same time I could tell I was not in my dimension, because some of them didn't, they looked like crosses of humans or different like timeline stuff, right? Like different Tyson, what you doing? Why he stopped and looked at me like, oh, I've been caught. What you find? No, no, that's crazy. But yeah, so like it was weird because one of the people were like, I don't know how to explain it. They were like watercolors, and I've only heard of like the 12th dimension being like strictly colors and stuff. So like it was like a watercolored person. Like it was weird. Like they were like watercolored in. It was just like, but they were all like mainly kids and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna blend in right here. I don't know how, but I was they so I run into the other room because there's another room connected to the like another daycare center connected, and I run into that wall, and I'm like looking through the looking through like, oh my god, please don't come in here, please don't come in here, like don't do it, please, gang, don't do it, like, just leave me alone. And they're just looking like this through the room, like, hmm. I'm like, oh my god, please go away. And so like they close the door, and I'm like, shoot, okay, okay. I sit down with the kids, and then I act like I'm coloring with them, and I'm like, and the creature goes, and I'm like, yeah, guys, they're coloring. And the teacher, they're like, the creature was like looking around like one more good time, like, nah, I swear they were in here, like, okay. I guess I was tripping. And they left. And I was like, shoo, I don't know how I just got out of there, but, or how I just tricked that creature at all. I didn't know how it happened. I just know that it stopped looking for me, even though, like, I swear to you, it was staring at me for a good second. Like, it was like, okay, no, no, she's just a part of the crew. She's part of the crew with the other ones. I see. Like, like I swear, guys, I couldn't make eye contact with it because I've had I had encounters with demons, and make once you make eye contact with them, they see you, gang. It's over. I've had to hurt those demons, yes, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they literally they'll see you if you make direct eye contact, right? That's soul looking into soul, and they'll see you. Then, yeah. So I had to avoid eye contact at all costs because I was like, you're not gonna catch me here. No, no, you're gonna have the government on my behind because I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. Like, mm-mm. So yeah, so Disney is hiding creatures under their base in their basement. That's a real thing that's happening. Yeah. So, long story short, that is what mainly like the warriors dealing with those ones. Those ones are weird. Those ones, right, are the weird ones. So yeah, it's definitely it was a crazy experience because I was like, what the no, and then it's like I don't know. There's these ancient like I don't know. Spirit showed to me like blob monsters. It's really weird. I don't know that the time is running out, so they're trying to like do anything. Like, it's very interesting. Um, no, that's not the only time I did that. But see, my thing is that, see, you know how long I'm astral projecting, and I still haven't learned my lesson not to ask questions or talk about the things I see out loud. Like, no. I always do that. I think the one time I mentioned I had deja vu, why did I immediately get kicked out? They were like, did she just say that? They said, run. I was like, oh, I upset the dream keepers. That's crazy. Again. Yeah, they showed themselves to me. They don't like it. They know I'm do too much, man. You know how many times they had to come get me and kick me out of the dream realm? They're like, yo, you go back to your reality. The one time I actually saw them like in manifestation, like in the dream realm, because I literally said the Matrix is falling, the Matrix is falling, because the sun and the moon were literally like in alignment. And it was like the moon would go up and down while the sun was still out, and I was like, oh, that means the stars are aligned. I'm like, the Matrix is falling, the Matrix is falling. Why did they come out? They were like, first off, I don't know why are you over here talking about the Matrix is falling. Chill out. Chill out. And so yeah, we had a good time running from them. It was fun. It was fun. I was bailing mainly. I don't even know who I was with, but I know I was telling people the Matrix was falling, and they was not happy with me. So it's a lot of different experiences. Hi, I don't know. I don't want to butcher your name, Angela. Thank you, hon. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know if I said your name right. I'm not sure. I hope I didn't butcher it. Yeah, exactly. We can access them, right? One time I accessed a government building that was a part of the No Sun organization, right? They don't want the gamma rays, right? The solar flares, the gamma rays from the solar flares to affect our Angela. Okay, period. Got it. I got it. Alrighty, nice to meet you, Angela. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat, okay? And yeah, that place was kind of weird too. I didn't even barely make it through the door security though. I was, I literally. So all I know is I ended up in the air ducts of that building because they did not want me in the building. I literally got to security. They were literally checking everybody right before coming in, and I was sitting there like, mm. They were like, wait. I was like, ooh. I ran past them so fast, and I was like, I'm going in here. I'm gonna find something. But yeah, that was crazy. And it's always hilarious because I don't even know. I just know that like when I do that astral projection remote viewing, I just know that like every time, I don't know, they really just be spotting my like energy, and they be like, you're not supposed to be here," and I'm like, I that's good to hear, Angela. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, hun. But yeah, it's so crazy. My experiences in these other realms, right? I have so many. But I think my favorite ones are infiltrating, infiltrating their like secret bases through remote viewing. It's like they're out here using remote viewing to like infiltrate our lives, right? And the timeline to try to see what's gonna happen down in the future and everything like that. And it's like I'm doing it to get some clues about what they're doing behind our backs. And I know they're mad because they literally set up their government buildings, their military bases, right? Every secret program thing with things to be able to tell when a person is astral projecting into their space. When a person is remote viewing their stuff, they have things to identify as light beings when we do cross their thresholds, right? And I think it's funny how many times I've done that and they still haven't caught me in there. So it is very interesting. It's always a good time. It's always a good time. But yeah, guys, I am going to call it for today. Tomorrow we will be back. We're doing our lesson day tomorrow, so we're probably going to read one of those books from our Boss Up playlist. I will let you know tomorrow which one we are starting. But you can read any of those books on YouTube at your own leisure, right, at your own time. They're always there for you guys because I don't gatekeep knowledge or information from you guys, right? So you guys can check that out anytime under the Boss Up playlist on YouTube, okay? Any announcements? Right, Wednesday, collective reading for free. Thursday, personal readings for energy exchanges, okay? Friday is our conscious game night to strengthen intuition and spiritual discernment, okay? Just like in the Among Us games, there are imposters among us, and I want you to be able to spot them, okay? Same tag as my TikTok, and the link is in my bio. I'm gonna put it in here for you. But just so you guys know where to always find that, it's always in the link in my bio. All right. And always I got the same exact tags, okay? I think, yeah, no live Saturday or Sunday, okay? And thank you, Humble King. I am very appreciative and highly grateful for that, okay? You know, the playbacks for the lives are always saved onto YouTube now. So we don't have to, I don't have to like save them from the TikTok and then upload them later because that is a whole thing. But I love you guys. Remember, we speak love, justice, and peace into this realm, okay? Because that's what we want to see. Alrighty. I'll see y'all next time. Let's see if I can close this. Y'all have a blessed day. At the same time, let's see. Peace.